Hi gang. So I decided this month, just for something a little different, that I would do a training video instead of a team training call for the month. And you can give me your feedback on that, you know, what you think, if you thought it was a good format, if you didn't, whatever. But that's what I'm doing today. And I'm doing it a little earlier. Usually it's more mid-month, but I know everybody is going back to school, back to jobs. And so I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, you know, I need some help prioritizing and managing my time. So I sat down and came up with what I thought were some good ideas. I had two of my directs go over the list and see if they concurred, and they did. So I feel pretty comfortable offering these things to you, whether you're old, new, or wherever you're at. So here goes. Okay, as far as priorities, when you got added to Rodan and Fields, you were added to lots of different team pages, and that certainly, it's overwhelming for me still yet sometimes, and I know it was when I was new. So this is what we decided we would suggest to you. Your main priority is checking on your leader's team page, like Shannon's team, Team Skintastic. You check there first. She will keep you updated on what's going on. That's your main priority, is your team page, whatever your leader's team page is. Now, after that, my team page would be the next page, and if it's too overwhelming for you, you can just depend on your leader's page for now. My page, I think, is more of a learning page. I put lots of learning things on there. So your leader's page is first priority, and then my page. Now, on up from there, your next team would be Team of Grace. Sonia has some incentives on there, and you do have actually a fairly good chance of winning those, because you know the team isn't that huge yet, so you could check there occasionally. Jam and Johnston's, Kim's Crusaders, Happy Skin, you're totally fine turning those message feeds off. Happy Skin does a lot of challenges and incentives, but that page is so big now, you don't have a great chance of winning those, even if you do what's asked for in the incentive. And then the last page is Dream Team, and I would definitely turn the notifications off for that page. Matter of fact, Debbie says you should turn off those notifications because it's so big. There are like 30,000 people or something on the page now. And so what I use Dream Team for is I go there specifically to read files or to look for photos. So I use those two tabs, but I go there to that page with a purpose when I'm looking for something. The other thing that I do a couple times a week, I go to Dream Team, and just in the little search bar with the little magnifying glass, I will type in Debbie Coder, and it will bring up just the posts that Debbie has posted. So you don't get in on all those other posts, people asking questions, asking for opinions, has your customer had this, whatever. Now, another thing you can use that page as a resource for is, let's say that you had a customer asking about what product do we have for eczema or whatever, and we didn't know, and it was late at night and you couldn't get a hold of your sponsor. You could go to Dream Team, and you could go to that little search bar with the magnifying glass and type in eczema, and it would bring up all the posts that people had posted about eczema. So Dream Team is an excellent resource, but I would turn the notifications off of Dream Team. You can turn Happy Skin off, Kim's Crusaders, Jam and Johnston's, Team of Grace, and that way all you'll be seeing, all you'll be getting notifications from is your sponsor and from my page. And like I say, if my page is too overwhelming, turn mine off and just go to it, when you need something, because it's your sponsor's job to keep you informed of the important things in this business, and it'll get where it's not so overwhelming. But your sponsor's page and my page are the only ones that I would leave on notifications at this point if I were you. I think that will help a lot. Now, as far as incentives, when I started, I thought, okay, I'm going to do every incentive I see, and it's really easy to get sucked into all that, and it gets kind of overwhelming trying to keep track of what team has what incentive going on, and it gets a little overwhelming. So, I just went to a training in Dallas last month, and they said, don't worry about giving so many incentives. Do concentrate on Lead the Way miles. They're there for a reason. That's why corporate provides them. So we're going to be talking a lot about Lead the Way miles this fall. And Lead the Way miles, when I have concentrated on those and really worked hard for those, my business has flourished. And yours will too, because what you're concentrating on is getting PC orders, and you're concentrating on getting consultants, and even face washers count for Lead the Way miles. So if you don't have a good understanding of Lead the Way miles, talk with your sponsor about that, or message me and I will help you set some goals for those. So I would concentrate on Lead the Way miles, and then occasionally your sponsor might challenge you, or I might send a message to your little team group message and say, and offer you an incentive. But as far as all the other incentives on all the other team pages, I just wouldn't worry. I wouldn't get sidelined with those and worry. I know it gets overwhelming because there's so much information in the beginning. So that's incentives. As far as learning, I would make it a goal every week to listen to one of the training calls on Sunday night, either the Dream Team call or the Sarah Robbins call, and they're both just as good. Now, I hardly ever listen live Sunday night. I listen to a replay, but I have found that if I have it in my mind, okay, on Monday morning when I have my coffee or whatever, whenever you pick, that's always when I'm going to listen to the call, because otherwise I think, I'll do it, tomorrow, or I'll do it the next day or whatever, and then it doesn't get done. And so that's one of those things, if you make this more like a job and you actually have a schedule, then it becomes easier to do what you need to do. So I would say definitely listen to one of those calls, both if you can find the time, but definitely one of them, and try to do that the same time each week so that you stay, in a good system. The next thing, as far as learning, I started that challenge, RNF 101, for our team, and it really, some people are feeling overwhelmed, and that was not my intention at all. It's fun to give prizes, and that's why I made points go with it. But really, if you, you don't even have to be trying for the prizes. Just as you have time in the next month or so, go through those exercises. And it's to learn. It's to help you learn and help you get a good start. But don't feel pressured about that. It's just it's a learning activity designed to really tell you just the nuts and bolts of the business and the company, and get you some some good information. So don't feel pressured by that. I mean, it's fun to assign points and give prizes, but don't feel like you have to win those. Okay, let's talk about daily activity, because I know we have lots of teachers, and teachers are going back to school, and they're concerned about how am I going to fit this into my day. Well, I'll tell you, when I started this business, I was working for a nonprofit from home, but I was working for a nonprofit. I was babysitting a child in my home, so Abby had somebody to play with, and taking Abby to all of her doctor's appointments and therapy and all those kind of things. So I didn't have a lot of time to do this business when I started, and I literally had, about 30 or 40 minutes a day to myself that I could work this business. And I will tell you that I have found, some days I'll think I'm going to work all day today. Well, it doesn't happen that way because I live with Abby. And so, we need to play, or she needs to potty, or she needs a drink or lunch or whatever. And so it's little, work 10 minutes, do something else, work 10 minutes, do something else. And what I have found, I read this and I thought, I wonder if that's really true. I'm going to try. And I have found that if I either get up earlier than her, or I stay up later than her and work for, an hour of focused activity where I've got the TV off, I've got, music off, I don't have any interruptions, and I am just focused on my business, I can do like a whole day's work. The same amount of work I could get done with doing it off and on throughout the day and playing with Abby and taking care of her. So if all you can manage is 30 minutes a day, that's totally fine. Just make it 30 minutes of focus where, no husband, no kids, no TV, just business, just focus. And 30 minutes a day, you can get a lot done. That might sound like a lot to you even now if you're really busy, but it's the length of one Big Bang Theory or one Will and Grace, whatever you watch. So just if all you can work is 30 minutes a day, that will work too. And in that 30 minutes, you could do the Focus 15 that we talk about, and that is post on Facebook, add 5 friends, message 5 people. Okay, you can do that in 15 minutes easily. And for the other 15 minutes, you can train your brain. We've talked and you'll hear me preach on this about how important the brain training is, and I've had people say to me, the calls are great, but they don't motivate me. Well, it's not about motivation. It's about training your brain, because it's a scientific fact that about 85% of the self-talk in your brain is negative. So we have to reprogram that, So we feed ourselves good information every day. So that could be reading your Bible. It could be reading, a book from Eric Worre, the network marketing guru. It could be watching a 10-minute video on YouTube, whatever. I have a whole list of those that you could go through. So it's really just, devoting 10 to 15 minutes a day on training your brain with good, positive thoughts and good information. And that is as important as anything in this business, because your mindset is what is going to make you successful in this business, not your sales. I can tell you that right now. It doesn't matter how great of a salesman you are, or what a poor salesman you are. If you get your mind in the right place, you will soar in this business, because your belief will become such in the company that you just know that what you have is good, and you're excited to offer it to people. And no's don't hurt. They don't put you off. You don't care what anybody thinks about you for posting on Facebook, because you have that good, solid belief. So the brain training is really, really important. So just to kind of reiterate, if you can, you're going back to work, you're feeling stressed, whatever. So make sure every day you devote this 30 minutes, and you take a month or so and get back in a good routine with work, and maybe you can increase that to an hour at some point. But for now, you're going to take that 30 minutes and you're going to be focused, no distractions, no interruptions, no phone, no text messages, no nothing. You're by yourself, you're posting on Facebook, you're adding 5 friends, you're sending 5 messages, and you're training your brain with something good. And if you need ideas for books to read or videos to watch, feel free to message me. I have a whole list. And listen, I do that every day still yet, because it just feels so good, to have positivity in your brain. And I do that every day still. And I think the big thing too is finding the time frame that works best for you for this 30 minutes. And I tell you, I have found for myself, and I'm a very organized person, but I found for myself that this business, it has a lot of freedom, and it's a gift and it's a curse too, because you don't have any set schedule. And so you think, well, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll do it later after I do this. And then later becomes, oh, I didn't get it done today. And so for me, what was best was to think of this like a job. And so I found that 30 minutes in the beginning that worked best in my schedule. And I said, okay, this is the time I'm going to work every day. Now, occasionally, something might come up and I have to make an adjustment. But for the most part, this is the 30 minutes I'm going to work. And this is what I'm going to do. And Monday mornings is when I'm going to listen to the Dream Team call. And so you make it more like a job. You make it where that's why I had you print out that August calendar if you're a newbie, and told you to write 15 on each of the days except Sunday, so that you knew you had to do that Focus 15 every day, and then you could cross it off. On Sunday, I know that I'm going to post an opportunity call. So I just wrote out on my calendar. I just made it more like a job, and I thought, this is my job description and this is what I'm doing. So figure out what part of the day where that 30 minutes fits best for you. It could be early morning, it could be late night, it could be on your lunch hour, it could be right after your school while your kids are at practice or something. I don't know, but find what that 30-minute time frame is, and try really hard to be loyal to that until you get in a good rhythm. That will help you a lot. Another thing that I wanted to say, if there are parts of this, I mean, I'm just here to help. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to grow. I'm excited. Our team is amazing. I feel like everybody on our team has been, handpicked especially for us. It's a great group. But don't forget that this is your business, and if you don't like, you don't have to do things like I'm saying. I'm just saying this stuff works for me. But it's your business. You do things like you want to do them. Just remember that we do have a proven system for success in place to help you. It's not a system I made up. It's a system I was taught by leaders that have been doing this, for years. And so it is a system to help you, but there may be variations that you want to do. So just remember, it's your business. If you get tired of, I was going to say, the message feed, the team message feed we had going, I have had some complaints lately about that being too much because the phone is just dinging all day with activity, and I get that. It was fun in the beginning when we had kind of a small group, and in the very beginning when we were really small, we would get prospects on there sometime and they could talk to all of us at the same time, and it was really cool. But we've gotten too big for that now, and so I just I deleted everybody off that. So now let's just concentrate on our team message groups so that it's not such a hassle for everyone. But this is, like I say, this is your business to run however you want to run it. So don't feel like you have to do everything just like I'm doing it. I'm just trying to give you suggestions to help you. The last thing I want to talk about is commitment. And I'll talk about this a lot, but I was telling, Julie came by today and we were talking, and I said, I was thinking about this analogy, and I told her, and she kind of laughed, and it maybe it's kind of a silly analogy, but it was the best one I could think of for women. You grow up, and most people know that one day they're going to want to be a wife and a mother, and so especially when you get older, and while you're pregnant especially, I think people seek you out to tell you their horror stories from being pregnant and giving birth, and you hear all these horrible things. I threw up every day. I was in labor for 3 days or whatever, and just craziness. But even knowing all that, you still go through it and have a baby because you want a family. I mean, it's not like you're going to say, oh yeah, I'm not doing that, I'm not going to have any kids. So what I'm trying to get at is, we know statistically that fall, August through November, is a huge time. It's one of our busiest times of the season, and even more so because of the big product launch in October. So think about this. We're already almost halfway into August, so we've got to mid-September, to mid-October, to mid-November. So we've got about 3 months, about 90 days of really hard work. So what if I said to you, okay, this next 90 days, you're going to be busy, you're going to be tired, you're going to have to maybe let your house go a little bit, you may have to miss The Bachelor, you may have to miss a girls' night, you may have to even miss one of your kids' football games. But at the end of that time, if you have worked as hard as you can, and you have added as many PCs as you can, and you have added as many consultants as you can, at the end of that time, whatever your check was today, it's going to be triple that amount in December. Okay? So just think about that. So knowing that, would you want to work hard for 90 days? I would. Now, that's the kind of commitment I'm talking about. I'm not saying, you have to spend 8 hours a day working this business. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about knowing that there is some product launch that they think is going to just turn us and every woman we know on our ear, because we're going to be so excited about this product and we're going to want to use it, whether we're a girly girl or we're not a girly girl. Every woman's going to want it. She's going to want to give it out, get it out and use it every day, and it's going to be something more affordable than the acute care. It's more of an everyday use thing. And so we've got this building and building and building, and we've got all this excitement happening with convention and this launch, and we know fall is already a huge time for business. So, at the Power Up Luncheon yesterday, they told us these number projections of how they thought it would affect our paychecks. And so knowing that, can you be committed enough to work hard for 90 days and then, benefit for the next however many years you're going to stay in this business? I mean, can you commit to work like that, whether you're tired or you have to miss something, or maybe you have to go to school one day wearing your least favorite outfit because you didn't have time to do your laundry? Can you do that? Can you commit to do that knowing that it's going to benefit your Rodan & Fields business for years to come? I can. I'm there. And I hope you are too. And if you're not, that's okay. I understand my situation is different because I'm at home and I'm always in a messy house, as you can tell. But, I wasn't here to start with. I had other part-time things I was doing, and I'm blessed to be home now. But I work hard to be able to be here, and I do still have, Abby, this is one of the days that we don't have to go to Tulsa. So we're blessed to be here at home and I can make this video. But think on that. They said yesterday at that Power Up Lunch that the people that join this company now have as much opportunity as the people that started back in 2007, 2008, because we have just scratched the surface on users. 7% of people worldwide know about Rodan & Fields. That's huge. If you don't know anybody in Canada or Australia, it doesn't really matter. Do you know in Canada there are 30 million people, and in the US there are 330 million? You guys, it's still so wide open here. It's not even funny. I am like using every resource I know to try to find. I have one customer in Phoenix, and she's a teacher and she's a doll lover, and I keep trying to get her to join my team, and she became a face washer, but she's not interested in the business. And I keep telling her, Debbie, there's nobody in Arizona selling this. You would have the market cornered, and it's like that in some states. Here in Oklahoma, they were telling us yesterday at the luncheon that there were 5 RFXers in Tulsa and 2 in Oklahoma City. So that means, the whole, it's so wide open, so wide open. So think about that, and think about this global journey that they're getting ready to take. Think about how, the mission of the company is to change lives. The changing skin is a sideline. It just so happens that they deal in clinical grade skincare. It could be tennis shoes, or it could be computers, or whatever. It just so happens that the doctors do skincare, so that's how they're changing lives. But their mission actually is to change lives through empowering women. And I know we have men in our business too, but it's by far dominated by women. And so they want to change the lives of as many women by empowering them, enriching their life with opportunity, with financial freedom, all these things. And they do that by sharing amazing skincare. So think on all those things. Think where we're headed. Whether you're brand new or you've been in it a year, or like me, I've been in, it was 2 years in May, and I'm like a giddy schoolgirl thinking about this product launch and what the next few months are going to mean to my business. It's going to be huge, and it can be huge for you too, and that's what I want for all of you. So I love you guys, and if you have any thoughts or questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.